STAKK Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
In today's episode, alright, we delve into the evolving landscape of currency.
Money.
Contrasting traditional fiat currencies with the emergence of Bitcoin.
Ching ching.
We'll explore the key differences between the two, the implications for our financial systems, and how individuals and economies are navigating this changing paradigm. We'll begin with fiat currency, Warren Buffett's breakfast.
Jerome Powell's.
Yeah, Jerome Powell's playground.
The king or JP.
Right?
Yup.
So there are three main things with the fiat currency.
Yup.
I'll drop this here, double, and you can follow up with what Bitcoin is offering as a counter.
All right. I'll be the fiat warrior, all right?
Okay.
You hold on to Bitcoin.
Okay, we'll switch your route then. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Tell us then, what is fiat offering us, man? Or what is the fiat situation as we see it now?
It's been a while that I actually saw a physical currency. I don't use that anymore. I use a credit card. But one thing for sure is that thing is paper or it's a card.
It's carbon fiber.
I can see it. I can swipe it. You know? Fiat currency is issued by a central bank, you know?
Of course.
I've been taught in my economics class to trust the government. The central banks create the money. They work with the treasury. It's well managed, you know? It's controlled by the government.
I don't want to
And
live in
it's
this.
legal tender,
Yes.
you know? It's been used for many years.
Well, then you come to find out that
You know?
this centralized management, what is happening if it's not
Don't
going well?
don't even attack us at Fiat, okay?
Oh,
We got this.
Well, what
It's either a coin, you know, in some countries they still use coins in Europe.
Hey, man.
I get banknotes,
Listen.
and I can take it to any country, especially in Africa. Give them the dollar, man. They want the dollar real bad over there.
Okay, we see your central authority, right? And we'll raise you decentralization points.
Hey man,
Okay.
we got this. You know what? You know what's even more important?
What is that?
It is stable.
It's stable. Yeah, it's stably heading down. That's what I'll say.
and
Bitcoin is also stable. Stably heading up.
no. As a matter of fact, this is so stable that if anything goes wrong, the central banks,
Yeah.
FDIC, the treasuries are gonna come up and save us.
Yeah, but then by saving you, how do they save you?
We got insurance, man. They can print money. You know, we have to print money to grow the economy.
So if they print money, then they're putting more money in the economy, which means that your money should be now less or worth less, isn't it?
Hey, that is what we've been believing in for so many years, and that's kind of what we're used to, you know.
You know the kind of environment I like?
Yes.
One where it's like the money supply is fixed,
Oh, tell us.
which means that if you lose your money, my money becomes more valuable. Which means that if more people believe in the money, my money becomes more valuable. Much more importantly, if I put my money there, the value of that money is much more likely to increase over time. Store of value, this is one of the things that money is, right?
Yeah, we know that.
And again, let me begin again with the fact that this thing is decentralized, right? Which means that there is no central authority, no central banks, no Jerome Powell or whoever is put in charge of whatever the case might be.
So who's in charge then? Because we need somebody to be in charge.
We are all in charge. You can run a Bitcoin node yourself, apparently, if you have not seen it yet. Allegedly, you can see it on bitcoin.org. Not the other one, the cash guy. That guy is a deviant, man. Listen, Bitcoin is a prime example of hard money.
Why is it hard?
Maintained by a network of nodes, limited in supply is what makes it hard. Okay? You can store it yourself. It cannot be inflated by anyone. This is what we call hard money. It captures all the features of money. The digital nature of it also allows it to be very portable, right? So
you're saying now that instead of me carrying my briefcase of money around,
yeah,
there's a digital version of that, but I can do that on my credit card.
listen, man, we understand that if your gang life is not exactly the flashy thing, you will not be able to splash money on us. Or carry a band so big on your head that your neck is hurting from all this money. But given the age we live in, right? They say future money, the money of the internet. Everything we do is on the internet. Everything in our society has evolved except for money. And so since I think those who were in charge do not take charge of this, they got lazy because their system got so good for them. I think society has responded by bringing money into the 21st century. And it is something that we must all consider very seriously.
So how do we, the people, join this future money? Because if you're saying that I can move money around now without the banks, without the suitcase, and having to worry about the banks approving my money to be moved, how do we go about doing that?
Well, I'll probably say the first step is to probably understand where you are right now. Most importantly, understand what money is and the evolution of money. Now you can see why we're doing this video. To do our part to inform everyone what money is, what you should be expecting from your money, the way your money is, because here's one thing, and I think for the longest of times, speaking about finances openly in America seems to have been a taboo thing, right? You're supposed to do it silently.
Yep.
Unless I'm blind, it seems like this poverty has struck all of you to the point where you're bitching about it on Twitter now or TikTok and all of that. Have you seen those videos that are coming out of people?
Inflation is still, the money is not what it was yesterday.
That's
Inflation
because you don't understand
money.
money. You do not understand money. That is why. And this is why you need this video. No, I mean, people watching this video already know what time it is, okay? So share it with your friends. Let your friends know. Remember when we titled that video, You're Broke?
We're doing it again Monday, though. You're broke part 2.
Let's get back on topic here. So navigating this challenging landscape, okay? Financial inclusion is one of those things. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin have the potential to provide financial access to the unbanked, the underbanked. You know, in the 21st century, we have people that still do not have a bank account.
Of course, because the banks limits who can get a bank account. All those fees that you charge you, It makes no sense to have a bank sometimes.
Meanwhile, all you have to do is go on the peer-to-peer something, okay? If you would like to learn more about this stuff, you can schedule some time with us and we'll teach you about it.
As long as you have a phone, you can buy Bitcoin. And you don't have to buy your own Bitcoin. You can buy tiny little bits of Bitcoin, sats.
Cash App is also another one. People use this every day.
Yep.
But I don't think people understand the power that lays behind Cash App. Even if the things are KYC, I think that you might still be able to, skip, hop, and jump. You might get away with a toll too. Transaction efficiency is the other part. We see the Lightning Network carrying out transactions at rapid speeds, faster than anything we've ever used, with final settlement, of course. These transactions are also much cheaper than it would be in a traditional system. And I think there is no doubt that this is revolutionizing the international market of commerce.
Oh yeah, man! They're coming for World Pay and Western Union and all those guys.
Yeah.
You want to send $500 to Nigeria, they charge you $5 or so, $7 or so. You can do that for 2 cents on a Lightning Network.
Now, I want to combine 3 things here. We have this decentralization, which we've already spoken about, security and privacy, and of course, this global accessibility.
Talk to me.
These 3 things combined in a traditional system is not
it's not efficient.
It's not something that is not even in the same sentence.
No.
Okay.
The banks getting approval, all that madness that you got to deal with to even touch the money.
Exactly. Now, when it comes to the security, we know that blockchain technology already ensures that we have a tamper-proof transaction ledger.
Yep.
Right. If people attempt this, we've seen hard forks, right, where we've seen other forms of Bitcoin that are not Bitcoin, right? And all of these transactions are available and publicly auditable on the Bitcoin ledger.
Okay. Yep.
Hacking is very unlikely on the Bitcoin network. We haven't seen it. If we take Bitcoin and put it right next to Ethereum,
different story.
I think it speaks for itself there, right? Yep. Now, if we roll down as well, of course, global accessibility, this thing is borderless.
Yep.
Right? Never in a time in human history. I think we have to consider this one of the wonders of the world, this Bitcoin thing. Reduced transaction costs, you already touched on that.
Hey, man, MoneyGram is buy.
Transparency, privacy. These are the things that will transform our current financial system as we know, because as we know, the idea of privacy is going to change with the way technology is going.
Hey man, don't just sign up for a WorldCoin or a CBDC. Or have you seen those end prints ones now that you can go to the store and buy something with a chip in your hand?
Yeah.
Madness.
Well, I'm coming up with a new coin.
Brazen coin.
Yes. This one, they have to scan your throat. We must know what you've been up to. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Listen, financial sovereignty is a beautiful thing. Once upon a time, our forefathers and our foremothers used to store their money by themselves. No problem. It's time for us to start trusting ourselves again.
Yep, because you
Right.
can't trust the banks.
Absolutely.
The banks is why you are broke.
I mean, we see out saying over on TikTok. We've been saying it for a longer time because we've been feeling the pinch for much longer than you have. Now, of course, we know that there are challenges and considerations. Double O. What are some things people should think about as well on the flip side of the Bitcoin situation? Because it's not all roses.
Yes, it's not all roses because a good example would be waking up to buying Bitcoin at 26,000 to now finding out that it's 25,000, or buying it at 29,000 and finding out that it's now 21,000. Like those things happen.
Man, you have those numbers quite precise. Did this happen to you?
Oh sure, I just lost a whole lot of money trading,
Hey, it's all good, man.
trying
Always-
to grow and get some yield out of my money.
It builds emotional resilience.
Yes.
Carry on, sir.
Yeah, so yes, there is the price action and then there's the technology. When you come to the Bitcoin space,
Yeah.
people trade on exchanges. That is why there's this whole movement of store your Bitcoin in your own wallet because it's your money. You should hold it. It was designed for that, not for you to put it on exchanges and for people to be trading it back and forth, which then gets the prices to go up and down.
Yep.
And if you're not used to investing and seeing your money go up and down, yeah, you might have those challenges for sure.
You might be in pain.
Yep. Another part,
I think they call that one emotional damage.
emotional damage. We've not done one of those in a
Do we
while.
have those? I wonder if we have that. Let's drop one for the people. One time for one time.
Emotional damage.
There we go.
That's what
All right.
happens when you lose $9,000 in the just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that happens. Then there's also this old situation where the central bankers want to control this new technology, and of course there are now all these other altcoins, we'll call them, that Ethereum have introduced into the space. That is just majority of them, if not 99% of them, as scams.
Right.
So of course there's got to be regulations going on in that space, and because they cannot control it, they're trying to create higher taxes for it, etc. It's a new innovation, so that space is still in the early stage. So that you got to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
And I believe one of the only barriers for adoption is people that maybe do not have a phone. I think that will be the number one challenge. The rest of it is
You think so?
literally.
I think otherwise, but carry on. I'll tell you mine after.
Oh, you think it's the mindset? Oh, well, it could be mindset because people are just so stuck up in the old fiat currency process.
Yeah.
But mine would be just the technology, because if you don't have a phone, how do you acquire Bitcoin? Because everything that we do now is digital.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the adoption barriers, and of course, people just are not willing to learn. They are refusing change.
Yeah. Well, I think that we have passed the point of it being an issue where people don't have a phone. Because if you don't have a phone, the bank cannot reach you either. So you're really out of the system and out of the traditional system as well.
True that.
So at some point in time, I know like sometimes, people say, oh, well, some people are poor and cannot get phones. Whatever. We're in the 21st century, okay? Everything is digital right now. Yes, some people in some villages will not have, but, I think that is a case that is very far off, okay? Most people have a phone. Most people use this phone to get on TikTok.
Yep.
If you look at the population on TikTok, it's not people who do not know how to operate phones.
Yep.
It's a younger crowd.
Yep.
Right? Except they're just trying to watch videos that are burning their brains to death. So I think that education and discipline, which comes to that mindset, right?
Yep.
Education is what is a major hindrance for adoption
True
right
that.
now. But that's just my analysis. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, right? What are some other areas where you think we'll face some barriers in Bitcoin adoption.
Yes, I think one of the other biggest one is the fact that the current systems, the establishments, the BlackRocks, the banks, would definitely push back against any new technology or innovation that replaces or creates an alternative for the money that they have had control of.
Yeah.
Because when they have control of that money, they have control of you. And they do not want to lose that control over you and over your money. But it's up to you to realize or come to the realization that your energy, your time, your work created that money. That money belongs to you. It should be stored in your own wallet, not in the banks, not in some central powers account that they control and inflate away with interest rates and federal policies.
Yes. Cannot be controlled or inflated away. And this is what the emergence of Bitcoin challenges the traditional economy, at least the traditional concept of money. While these fiat currencies right now still remain a backbone of our global economy, we're not saying that it's all horrible. It is allowing us, it is definitely facilitating a lot of things for society as it is right now. But I think, like with anything else, there is always room for improvement, right? Everything is always improving. I think that we apply it in everything. If you manage projects and things like this, right? Whether it's Formula One to the hospital or anywhere, right? Space flight, iterations, continuous improvement is something that they're always aiming for. So why can that be too much of a ridiculous thing to ask for our financial system as well? I think that Bitcoin is just part of that, right? So while these fiat currencies are still, a backbone of global economies, the innovative potential that Bitcoin brings to the table can no longer be ignored. This is why BlackRock is now interacting with it, right? So navigating this challenging landscape definitely requires a nuanced understanding of benefits and risk. Benefits, risk, and of course, regulatory considerations, especially if you're dealing with other cryptocurrencies that the SEC can quickly snatch off the table, right? Of course, as the technology advances, right, we think society itself will adapt and strike a decent balance between that traditional and the new money of the future.
Yep.
And this will shape a future global financial system that I think will work for everyone globally.
Yep.
Transactions could be on the Bitcoin network, and until you exit the blockchain, you may not have to pay anything. I think that's a point where we can come to a reasonable something, right, on how we can transact using this sort of things. I think that the possibilities are there. And there's so much more smarter brains, sitting in some room somewhere where I believe that they have looked at exactly what I just said there and turned in the other direction for one reason or another. Go ahead.
So you're saying you can make a transaction in the digital world that represents a physical world activity.
Yes. And until the point where you need to exit that digital world to materialize some sort of value in another currency, then at that point in time, you can think of it as a toll gate.
Yep.
Then you could now, I get it. It's fair to contribute as a community for the betterment of your society, of the betterment of your community itself, right? But I think with the same way, we see that blockchain technology allows this clear auditing. There is some thoughts and some ideas that can go around. I'm not about to give you guys my whole idea here because then you guys go on, you know what I mean? But just know that that's what it is. Final thoughts down below.
Yeah, so this is exactly what we're trying to tell you, that the fiat and the blockchain Bitcoin world, there is just the as is and the future state. At one point we didn't have the internet. At one point we could not do this in front of you, maybe in front of the screen. And now we're doing that. What we're trying to tell you is that fiat is for your grandpa and the boomers.
Call my broker.
And Bitcoin is for the Gen Zs. and the millennials. It's about time you wake up to the future and adapt.
With the digital generation, let's embrace this digital money in a decentralized manner.
Thank you. Not the centralized banks, CBDCs, and the world coins of the world.
Come on now. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, please subscribe to the channel. Comment on the video as well. Share it with your friends. Okay, we have our foot on the pedal, trying to approach 5,000 subscribers.
Let's go.
5,000 subscribers.
Yes, sir.
Look at us, man. We made it here. Can you believe it? Follow us on Twitter as well. X, rather. Okay, we're quite active on there. We'll have some things to say to you. And of course, on Spotify, we are STAKK. Until next time, present out.